Hi everybody, this is Richard Cohen again, continuing our series of videos to help you manage your properties and your vendors better in the future. This topic this time is from Colleen, asking, how do I know when my trees need to be pruned? Well, the short answer is, first of all, look at your trees and see, do they have a lot of dead wood in them? Do they have crisscrossing branches? Are there damaged branches? Is the tree leaning where it may fall and cause damage to either property or to people walking by? So obviously if you see trees that have that problem, then those trees, yes, they do need to be pruned. But the better answer is to hire a professional company with certified arborists on staff that can help you create a tree survey and a tree plan for your property. And the reason for doing this stuff is, number one, trees are a very valuable asset to your property. They add beauty, they add aesthetics, they create an ambiance that makes people want to be on your property and want to live on a certain property because of the way the trees look. So the trees are a valuable asset that needs to be protected. Then by creating a tree plan, you can come up with a pruning schedule so that you can prune the trees and keep them healthy, keep them opened up so that both sunlight goes through, then wind will get through, so they won't get damaged in storm conditions. Now, what do you want in a tree survey and a tree plan? You want to identify all the present trees on your property, the varieties of trees. You want to identify the location of those trees on your property. And then once you do that, you can come up with a plan of attack depending on the shape that the trees are in as far as a pruning schedule. Now the pruning schedule is going to vary a lot. Certain trees, like palm trees, may need to be pruned a couple times a year to cut the dead fronds off. Other trees can be pruned once a year, or maybe on a 2-year schedule. As they get mature, maybe even a 3-year schedule. So the idea is, based on what you found on your tree survey, is to create a plan of attack and a priority list for attacking your pruning schedule on your trees as budget allows. Now, again, I can't emphasize too much how important it is to do this and to maintain your trees, because in the long run it's going to save you money, it's going to protect one of your assets on your property, and help maintain the beauty and aesthetics of your property for a long-term enjoyment of all your tenants and residents. And I want to expound on a little more information on tree pruning and talk about a few more of the nuances of tree pruning that you need to consider. First of all, there's some general rules on tree pruning. You don't ever want to take more than 25% of the foliage out of the tree. Typically, when you go in to prune a tree, you want to get rid of the dead wood, get rid of any broken branches. You want to try to shape the tree and pick a good structure of the tree that you're trying to develop over a period of time. Now, obviously, your tree pruning varies depending on the age of the tree. A new tree may need to be pruned more often. A lot of trees, as they get older, you can go into a 2-year schedule, in some cases even a 3-year schedule, pruning them. There are some trees that just by the virtue of how fast they grow need to be pruned probably every year. That's like trees in the ficus family. Olive trees need to be pruned every year. Things like lagostromias, crepe myrtles, probably need to be lightly pruned every year and stuff. Acacias are fast-growing trees that need to be pruned every year. But some of the other trees, like carrotwood tree, like Tristanias, brachychitons, pine trees, once they get a little more mature, you can get into a 2 or a 3-year pruning cycle, and that would be perfectly acceptable. So a lot of that is a budget-driven decision depending on how much money is available, and also has to do with the age of the tree as to how much pruning they need. As they get older and they've already got a well-established structure, you can get by pruning them a little less often and pruning them lightly. One of the problems is, if you over prune a tree, it actually stimulates a lot of growth. And if you top trees, it'll stimulate sucker growth, and that sucker growth is typically weak at the attachment point, and in storms and wind, those branches tend to break off and cause you more problems. So by having a proper pruning plan and do a proper job of pruning, you really extend the life of your trees, you get more value out of your trees, and you get more beauty on your property.